What's the most disrespectful thing a guest ever did in your home? A friend asked to stay with me for a few days because she was having relationship problems. Turns out the relationship problems were all down to the fact she had a massive coke habit and her boyfriend was fed up of her spending all their money on it. The first night she invited 5 people who I didn't know round after I'd gone to bed and I had work the next day. Then she just disappeared for 3 days and went on a bender. I had her boyfriend calling me worried sick and nobody knew where she was. When she finally turned up she called me a shy friend for not covering for her. She didn't even ask me to. Yeah, we are not friends anymore. Since it's not being covered yet, don't cover for friends on a bender, regardless of the chemical. I say this as an addict. Honestly, it's one of the quickest ways to rock bottom. Realizing you've lost the trust in every person around you and you won't give it up till you choose to. Took me 7 years to burn every bridge I ever built. It's long. I'm sorry. The TL doctor is the audacity of that bee to make me hunt for a covered cell phone. I made a massive tactical error and invited the older than us couple from across the street over for an eye party. We really liked him. She had clearly burned out on drugs at some point. She showed up with a box of wine. No judgment, but it is low-key weird to show up and tell your host that this isn't good enough for you and said I only drink this. Then she saw the Bombay Sapphire and realized she did, in fact, drink other things. She spent the night getting rather plastered on my dime. No problem. We were always well stocked for our parties. My friend and his girlfriend showed up. Neighbor asks the woman how far along she is. Girlfriend is taken back and asks what. Neighbor points at her belly and says you got a baby in there, right? Reader. Our guest was not pregnant, did not look pregnant, and you would think another woman would know not to ask something like that. Towards the end of the night, very drunk neighbor decided that she needed to wash our dishes. I had a dishwasher. I had expensive dishes. I did not want them washed. After she wouldn't listen to me, her husband finally talked her down from the dishwashing ledge. Few chips, but at least nothing broke and no one ended up bleeding. I had told them when I invited them, look, I know you're going to be the last ones to leave, so I'm kicking you out when everyone else goes. Around 1 AM the party is winding down and I tell the neighbors it's time to head home. She decides she needs to use the bathroom first before making the 50-foot trek back to her own. 2 AM. She's back banging on the door. She can't find her phone. I'll let her back in. She can't find it. I send her on her way. 3 AM. I get woken up. She's back again trying to find the missing phone. So she has it when she goes to work. Tell her to kick rocks and I'll look in the morning. 7 AM. 7 FINAM. My neighbor is on the doorbell. She's basically accusing us of stealing a cheap flip phone at this point. 10 AM. I go into the bathroom she had used. I piss and flush the toilet. It's clogged. Light bulb goes off. I try and snake the clog through. No success. Wife convinces me that we need to rescue the phone or else the neighbor will never believe us. So I drain the toilet, take the tank off, break the corking along the floor, and take the toilet up. There's a refined covered flip phone looking at me. F me. Anyway, phone goes in a bag and over to the neighbor. Not even a thank you. Takes it and shuts the door. And that is the story of the night of the most disrespectful guest I ever had in my house. Brother brought a few friends over after a party he was at was busted. We weren't prepped for guests, but rush cleaned before everyone came. We told my brother to make sure everyone stayed downstairs and use the downstairs bathroom since the upstairs one was cluttered. Well, I went to use the bathroom upstairs and the door was locked. I banged on the door and quickly popped out 2 girls with suspicious looks on their faces. I went inside and saw everything open. The closet, the shower, the cabinet, as if they were going through our stuff. Turns out they were recording and taking photos of them reacting to different products and our shower. We just moved here and haven't yet redone the bathroom. The home previously belonged to an elderly couple who haven't updated it since the 60s. Picture the bathroom as covered in pink carpet, link tiles, pink toilet, pink sink, etc. We live in a high-income town and these girls came from much wealthier homes than ours. We are simply working class. They took these pics/videos basically mocking our home and products after we graciously let them in our home when we cold made them go home and ruin their nights. It was beyond violating and disrespectful. Still pisses me off thinking about it. Before I start this, my brother's drunk one night stand gives a very vocal performance and then tries to exit the stage through the wrong door. My younger brother went out clubbing a few years ago with a friend on a Saturday night. The friend was going to crash on the downstairs sofa. When they got back, they came back around 2 AM, obviously very drunk. That kind of drunk where you try and be quiet, but fail miserably. This obviously woke me, but I figure, hey, it's a Saturday night. They've obviously had a good time. Whatever. Then I heard multiple people come up the stairs, and then heard a female voice. Okay, so brother has brought home a girl. Not cool. My parents have always had the rule that you need permission to bring someone home. My mother's phone is always by her, and she would rather you text at a ridiculous time and ask permission than just bring them over. Shake my head at my brother's silliness, but maybe he can sneak her out tomorrow and get away with it. I hear the bed start to creak, and then the loud female moaning joins in. I'm talking fake porn levels of moaning. I'm mixed between being pissed that my sleep has been interrupted / the disrespect she's giving the rest of the people in the house, and the humor of how badly my brother is going to be murdered. They somehow managed to get through the act without my parents coming to his door. Then I hear his door open. I assume one of them is going to the bathroom. I hear another door open. Again. I assume this is the bathroom door. A pause. And then a "oh sorry" in a female voice before running footsteps to my brother's room. This girl had tried to go to the bathroom, entered my parents' bedroom by mistake and turned the light on. Mother is beyond angry. She and my dad had heard the six, but had decided they would deal with my brother and the girl in the morning. But oh no, mother is going for blood now. So she barges her way down the hallway and into my brother's bedroom to start tearing him a new one. Remember how I said earlier that my brother had gone out with a friend who was meant to be crashing downstairs on the sofa? He was in the bed too. Younger brother had his first threesome with one of his best guy friends and a random girl from a club, and got caught. As the screaming match starts between my mother and brother, I have slipped out of my room to use the bathroom. When I exit to go back to bed, mother is just leaving brother's bedroom, sees my outline exit the bathroom and starts screaming at me, telling me and the two guests to get the F out of her house. Me mum, it's me, turns hall light on. Mother, oh sorry, I thought you were another slut. She kicked the friend out, banned him from the house, and then called a taxi to get the drunk girl home. She's still a good human being. My parents have never let my brother forget it, but he wasn't allowed to bring home a girl, even if he asked permission, for over a year. Invited about 15 friends over for a party at my house, and late into the night, we were having so much fun that anyone who wanted to stay over did, which was like 12 out of 15. We were watching movies, playing card games, roughhousing, and then at 2 AM most of us were winding down and trying to go to sleep. 3 of my guests went into the common area a few meters away from the rest of us that were trying to sleep, and stayed up all night on their phones and iPads watching vulgar content. NC-18. I'm sure you can guess what it was. Playing music, laughing and joking. Eventually my mother, who was sleeping literally behind the wall they were making the noise from, got fed up and basically told them all to put it away and go to bed. They put headphones in but still didn't go to sleep. A very long and restless night later, the rest of us are replenished and wide awake. Those 3 that stayed up are passed out on the carpet, and all around them are apples from almost every snack and sweet in our entire house. They emptied 3 tubs of ice cream, half a cake, the rest of which was ruined, all of our chips, cheese sticks, puddings, everything. Thankfully they didn't empty our cereal and bread stash, so we were still able to make everyone breakfast. But as soon as everyone went home, the house was destroyed, and my parents forbade me from inviting those 3 again. Not that I complained. We don't talk anymore, and I haven't invited them to social gatherings since. Had our first big Halloween party in a new place. Had all the food and drinks, various beverages, alcoholic and non in coolers on the deck for everyone, and invited a handful of friends. My one friend asked to invite her new-ish boyfriend to the house. She brought him a 6-pack, and when he showed up, he had another 6-pack himself. He spent most of the evening staring daggers at another guest, who happened to be playing with his girlfriend's daughter, and drinking all the beer they had brought for him. Once that was gone, he started rummaging through our fridge. Beer was in the cooler. Had to ask him to leave our fridge and maybe have a water. After his 12-pack in like 3 hours. We all sat down to play an adult game after the kids went to bed, and he got up in the middle of it and walked down the hallway to the bathroom. When he got out, he went out to his car and came back in wearing a different shirt with noticeable vomit spots on it. We asked him if he got sick, and he said no. I went to go to the bathroom a few minutes later and noticed all down the hallway there was vomit leading to the bathroom. In the bathroom, there was vomit everywhere. Floor, wall, outside of the toilet. I yelled what the F, so my husband came to see what was up. We spent a good amount of time away from our party cleaning up another adult's vomit. Once that was done, we confronted him. Thankfully a couple of our good friends are bigger guys and tried to help defuse the situation, because the guy got instantly offended and belligerent, just refused to admit it was him. He even tried to pin it on the kids. One of them must have gotten sick. Lol. He ended up threatening my husband and friends, and we ended up calling the cops on him, just because I was sure he was about to get violent with the guys or my female friend. He was very scary, especially for someone we had just met. Thankfully, they took him to jail to sober up, and most of us at the party never saw him again. And that was the last Halloween party we ever hosted. I invited a very close friend over for Christmas dinner the first year after our daughter was born. My wife and I lived in a very small ranch-style house. After a lengthy discussion with my friend about what he could bring to dinner, I emphatically said nothing, since that's how I roll when I host. We settled on a salad. We were pretty clear on time and length of stay, since at that time we had a 6-month-old baby. He showed up 45 minutes late, with a new girlfriend, whom we never met, and had no idea about. She thought it was okay to bring her old, aggressive large dog, who terrorized our beagle and elderly chihuahua. Her dog pissed right on our one nice rug, and they didn't clean it up. It pissed on the rug literally right in front of all of us, and she didn't clean it up. She didn't even apologize. They didn't bring the salad they said they were going to bring. No big deal, but annoying since we had a long discussion where he was adamant about bringing something, and to top it off they stayed until 11 p.m. My wife went to bed an hour before they left, but they simply did not get the hint. I was shocked at their behavior, since this was my oldest friend. I should have kicked them out after the dog piss incident, but I simply could not believe what was going on. I lived in a very, very small rural Midwest community. My cousins came to my house from major cities, 2 from Chicago, 1 of Phoenix, and 1 of Denver. Talked the whole time, then asked to play Sim City on SNES. I said, yes, just not slot A, because I'm close to a megalopolis and still had room to build. I go to work at the city pool all day, came home and wanted to see what they did. Maybe I could learn something. Nothing saved in slots B or C. Okay, I load my city of 493,000 plus, and it has 0 people left. They bulldoze the whole city. My casinos, city parks, amusement parks, police and fire HQs, city hall, the bank, everything. Not only that, they built grass areas to spell my name is AF. I was obviously absolutely furious for multiple reasons. My mom found out and was ready to light them and their parents up. I told her not to, it wasn't even worth it. The next day was the family reunion and mom and dad gave me permission, just went to work at the pool all day instead. Word got out, because one was proud of what they did, so they told their oldest sibling, and she tore into them, in front of everyone. Then apparently most of the family started ripping into them, yelling. Nothing physical. My mom told me later that apparently granddad sat there quiet when he heard about it, because he was pretty weak from cancer. I'd been working all summer on his house, for free, of course, while still mowing multiple yards around town, and working full time at the pool, and for the city. Plus, we are farmers so it never ends. Mom told me he looked right at them and said, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm low on energy, Pacino, but more than anything, I'm just really disappointed. This was supposed to be fun. Apparently all 4 basically melted into the background for the rest of the day, then left back for their cities quietly. That was way worse than anything I could have ever done. 2 of the 4 did apologize years later. I think granddad took care of it though. Haha. And to this freaking day when I play, I still have never gotten as close to the megalopolis again. You get a Mario statue. When you do, 25 plus years and still haven't gotten it.